Hello everyone, Olympus here, and once again I'll be trying something new with my content. As at the date of recording this, Apex Legends Season 10 has been out for about a week now, and I've had the chance to play it a fair bit. In this video I want to kind of go over my general thoughts and speak about the major things that stand out to me. In the background will be a game that I played recently, but I didn't use Seer, and we'll go over that in a minute. I haven't been gaming in a while now, so please excuse my potato aim. But with that out of the way, let's get right into it. So let's get the elephant out of the room right now and address Seer. And there's no two ways about it. Seer is strong. I would go so far as saying he's overpowered. Seer is a better bloodhound in all aspects, and we'll talk about each of those aspects right now. So I'll list on the screen some of actually all of the effects that his tactical has, and however many they are just way too many. His tactical just does way too much. You know, this kind of reminds me of Finka from Rainbow Six Siege. When she was first introduced, she had an ability that just had way too many effects, and I feel like that's also the territory that Seer is in right now. His tactical, you know, short of it just being straight up annoying to be caught in, also is a challenge to new players and also to some of us more experienced players to keep track of all those different, you know, effects that it has and all the interactions that has with everyone else's effects and tacticals it uses and all that stuff. It's almost to the point of information overload. It's too much. I get that Respawn were going for a recon character because that's his class, right? His kit is geared towards collecting information and all that, but they might have taken it a bit too far with his tactical, and I feel like he's going to get enough in the near future. That's just his tactical. And let's talk about his passive, because that's also something I consider controversial. His passive is this heartbeat sensor seeker, whatever it's called, that is basically I would call it wall axe because the way it works is if you aim, you can get this little circle on the screen that tells you the direction that enemies are, if there are enemies in that direction, in I guess your line of sight or your POV. So let's lastly talk about his ult, because his ult is this like an old thing that you can throw out, and then if an enemy is moving within its area of effect, that enemy's footsteps are going to get highlighted to heal his team. So again, his kit, it all synergizes very well together, it all works well together, but the thing is, all those things in combination are just a bit much. Because imagine this situation, okay? Imagine you're chilling, you're the last one in the squad, so you're trying to rat in a building somewhere, but you won't hear his passive going off, so he can tell whether you're in that corner, and then he's gonna hit you with his tactical, and that's gonna interrupt any kind of healing you're doing or anything, right? And then if he throws his ultimate, well, it's basically GG's for you, because there's no way you can run to try and replicate and try to stay safe. And that's just Seer alone. Imagine if he's working with a bloodhound on his team, or he's working with someone like Fuse, who is a legend who got a buff this season, because if you're now caught within his ring of fire, you're gonna be highlighted to him and his teammates. His knuckle cluster also got a huge buff, because it lasts for twice the duration now, if I'm not wrong. In that kind of situation, it's just back to the lobby for you, my friend, I'm sorry. And you can start to see how this would be too much. It will be overpowered, especially in a competitive environment where information is key. Information is gold in this game. And that also takes me back to that Rainbow Six Siege discussion, because when Lion was introduced in that game, he definitely had wall hacks. He had this ability to press a button, and if any enemy on the map was moving, their whole body got highlighted in red. And yeah, that's just that shouldn't be in a game like Siege, especially because there's destruction. You can very easily get wall banned, and it's kind of the same thing here, because Seer's abilities, they're all kind of like wall hacks in that way, because he can see you through walls with his tactical, if you didn't know. And yeah, Seer is basically a better bloodhound in every single aspect, and you can basically count on him getting enough in the near future. You can put me on record saying that. By the way, before we move on to the next point, if you're enjoying this video, let me know by leaving a like, and a subscription to the channel would be highly, highly appreciated. Talking about things that are way too strong, let's talk about the L-Star, because that's an LMG that I didn't used to play a whole lot of. And we'll talk about the effects that some of these changes have had in a minute. But now the L-Star got a good number of buffs, because now it can take a barrel stabilizer to help with some of the recoil. And not only that, it can also take an extended mag, which reduces, or rather increases the amount of time you can keep firing before it overheats. And then also those extended mags make it cool down a lot faster. So it's in a good spot right now. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. I would say it's pretty strong. It's definitely better than it was last season. And I have been using it, and it's been a bunch of fun. I think if you use Rampart, you can dish out 500 damage continuously. I'm not entirely sure on that. You can go to the firing range to try it out. But yeah, I think you can do 500 damage with the Rampart, because her kit is this LMG specialist. Same thing with the Rampage, because the Rampage is the new LMG that has been added this season, and it's a heavy weapon, much like the Flatline, the Hemlock, and so on. And I wouldn't say it's as strong as the L-Star. I don't know. That's debatable, but it's definitely a strong weapon. I have been using it mostly for this like mid-range engagements, and even some of those long-range ones, because I've slapped 2 times or 3 times on it and it does well. The thing is, that slow fire rate, I don't think you can be that good with it in close quarters, though the strategy definitely you could choose to use is pray and spray. But I think what it shines is that mid-range, long-range kind of thing. It shines even more when you use the Thermite, because you can ramp up its fire rate using the Thermite, and it just transforms into a beast, absolutely shreds people. And you're gonna see me use it in this clip. So Rampage L-Star is the combo that I have been running, and I have been enjoying it because they are, like I said, they're pretty strong and they do well. And I just want to get a feel of these weapons and how they've changed since last season. I love it when games do this, where game developers introduce a lot of changes to their games, because that gives you, it hooks you, it gives you a reason to keep coming back and to try out all these new things, which is the point I was trying to make with the L-Star. And some of the LMGs, I've never really been a huge fan of them. I didn't used to run a lot of them, and I was just fine with like an R301 or whatever. But when Respawn goes in and adds something like the Rampage, it gives me that interest to try out a new weapon class and see how it feels. and I really appreciate them for doing that. Speaking about changes, let's talk about World's Edge, because there have been some pretty huge changes to the map. And for someone like me who hasn't been playing a lot in general because of my graphics card overheating and all that, by the way, there's going to be a video on that, so subscribe if you don't want to miss out. Yeah, but for me who hasn't been playing a lot, coming to this World's Edge really feels like playing on a new map. It's discovering, or should I say rediscovering, a whole new map. And there are so many new points of interest which I don't even know their names. I really don't even know where they're located on the map. I'm still discovering them. And in my experience, it's usually half the lobby either drops there to find out all the new stuff, and the other half drops in Fragment because people stick to old habits, and you know how Fragment goes. Something I forgot to mention about the Rampage is that slow fire rate. I don't know if I just suck at aiming, or if it has something to do with the weapon, but at range, that slow fire rate, I feel like I really cannot land some of my shots. Maybe I'm trying to compensate or overcompensate a bit much, but when I can close the distance a little bit, it really shines. Another huge change that came this season is ranked arenas, and like I said, I'm not someone who's been playing a lot, and I haven't even been playing arenas. No less, but I think this is again a good change, because those of you who enjoy the competitive and sweaty experience of like pubs and ranked, you can now have that also in arenas where it's a 3v3. I think this is good. I think this is good for the health of the game, because it just gives people more options, more stuff to play is always going to be welcome. And I think that a game like Apex Legends has such a huge player base that all these different queues don't pose a threat to like splitting the player base and making the queue times too long. So all in all, I'm glad that Ranked Arenas is here. Some of my friends have been playing it and been having so much fun with it. Some of the other changes this season have been some minor tweaks that Respawn went in and made to some of the legends and some of the weapons, which I feel like I have not really felt their effects so far. This is mostly because I've been playing for like a week now, less than that really. But in the course of time, in due course, I'll make sure to keep you guys updated to what I think of the new season and what all my thoughts are, insofar as I'll get the chance to play.
Reloading.
I'm taking fire. Throwing back in. Loading coming. The sky's about to fall, lads. Fire.
Recharging shields.
Right now, I just realized when I'm watching this clip that there's a golden rampage that I could have taken in that box, but it's well.
I'm recharging my shields. Juicing me shields. 45 seconds. What lies behind me?
Can use some help here. Got it there.
Reloading. Last one has rejoined their squad. That's kind of nice. 2 enemy squads left. Don't lose now. We got this. Rings near with 30 on the clock. Let's move. Recharging me shields.
Hold up. Healing.
Ten seconds and the ring's close. I need light up. Taking a bit to heal.
Charging up my shields.
up, fellas. The ring. Another squad has entered the scene. Target is spotted over there. Shields are recharging.
Wings out. Let's scope this quadrant out here.
Another squad's moseyed through here. We ought to go here. One squad left. Let's go break their hearts, eh? Clown spotted over here. Reckon we should go here.
Alert 5, Valkyrie on station. We are go for burn. Go for burn. But I'm keeping an eye out over there.
Hold on to your code pieces. Funnel load's dropping. My heart. Got enemies there. Joker's shooting at me. Stand back, knuckle butt's firing. Deploying. Enemy here, fellas. What went on here? Enemy right here. Enemy here.
Wings
Oh,
up.
looking good. Enemy right here.
Box 3, visual clear. Get down.
Enemy here, fellas. Attack is down. Reload. Just 10 seconds left. Change positive here.
Wings out.
One line. Reloading. Not looking good.
Bandit about the farm.
Enemy here. Spectacular.
I'm here. So let's get you a do-over, huh?
I'm recharging.
That's all there is for today. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, let me know by leaving a like and maybe checking out some of these videos here on the screen. That's all there is for today. I'll see you in the next one.